Hello everyone, my name is Joseph and welcome back to the Popsicleknight channel.
This video is sponsored by PTCGLstore.com, a great place for you to buy Pokemon TCG code cards. Please remember to use my code KNIGHT22 at checkout so that you can get a 5% discount. Thank you guys so much for your support and for your supporting PTCGLstore.com. In today's video, I'll be showcasing Spidops from the PALDEA Evolved expansion set. Spidops has a very interesting attack. For 2 grass energies, Entangling Trap makes each player shuffle their active Pokemon and all attached cards into their deck. So our strategy will center around this disruption. I find this very effective in our strategy since in most cases, setting up requires multiple turns and even resources. But when you shuffle back your opponent's Pokemon, you're practically forcing them to restart their setup from scratch. To power up Spidops' attack, I will be using Cherrim with the Spring Bloom ability, which allows you to attach any basic grass energy from your hand to your Pokemon with no rule box in any way you like. Since you will have to shuffle Spidops into your deck after using Entangling Trap, however, this will mean that you have to put a new Pokemon from your bench onto your active spot. But the thing is, it will become vulnerable to attacks going into your opponent's turn. This is why having a team of Pokemon that is immune to or can negate attack damage to pivot into the active spot is essential to making this strategy work. First, I have MIMIKYU with the Safeguard ability, which prevents all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon EX and or Pokemon V. This is really awesome because most Pokemon will not be able to knock out this MIMIKYU at all. I did add 1 copy of Luminous Energy so that we can also attack with this MIMIKYU, which allows you to put 7 damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon. Second, I have KLEFKI with the Mischievous Lock ability, which turns off the abilities of all basic Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponent. This may just prevent your opponent from setting up if they cannot use their abilities. And to seal the deal, I have AMBIPOM with the Primate Dexterity ability. If any damage is done to this Pokemon by attacks, you flip a coin and if it's heads, prevent that damage. While it is RNG based, this is pretty great for negating attacks. And this can also attack with Full Tilt Fling. Starting with 1 colorless energy, you flip a coin for each energy attached to this Pokemon, and this attack does 60 damage for each heads. Depending on your coin flip, of course, this attack can deal anywhere from 0 damage to 1-hit knockouts. AMBIPOM will be our main attacker. It is worth noting, however, that its basic stage APOM has the attack Bustle. Depending on your coin flip, you can negate attacks and even effects of attacks. This can be great for stalling if you desperately need it. In addition to these Pokemon, I'm also using these cards to disrupt my opponent. First, I have Path to the Peak Stadium, which turns off the abilities of all Pokemon with a rule box on them. Second is Avery. The support card forces your opponent to discard their benched Pokemon until they only have 3 left. And thirdly is Iono. Both players shuffle the cards from their hand and put them to the bottom of their deck, then draw cards until each player have as many cards as their prizes left. Late game, you may just be able to limit your opponent's hand to 1. The strategy of this build requires quite a bit of patience, but with a combination of high attack damage output, preventing your opponent from setting up, and negating attacks, you'll find that this deck is quite annoying to fight off against. Anyways, that's pretty much it. You can find the complete deck list in the description below. And now please enjoy the following gameplay videos showcasing Spidops. So we're gonna start this matchup with a Tarantula in the active spot. We have access to Artisan and Battle VIP passes can help us to set up 3 other basic Pokemon on our bench at least. So this is a pretty good start for us. Okay, it looks like we're going against a Chien Pao EX build. Got another basic from our top deck, which is really nice. I'm gonna use Artisan here to set up maybe Cherrim. That way we can accelerate energy, but with no energies in sight, I think MIMIKYU would be a better choice. Because once they start setting up, or they at least set up their Chien Pao EX, they can start attacking. We can negate that with MIMIKYU. And secondly, what you want to set up are your draw engines. I'm gonna go for Bidoof and Squovit. I'm just gonna end my turn here because I have pretty good support cards in my hand. I can draw extra cards, and the next thing we have to look for are energies. And looking at this matchup already, I'm thinking of just shuffling back their Baxcalibur supporter Pokemon to their deck, and if they're reliant on rare candy to evolve their Baxcalibur, if they run out of that resource, we could just prevent them from ever setting up and from ever accelerating energies to their Chien Pao EX. So at least we have that strategy, and also we have a few Pokemon that we can set up to negate attacks. and they might just never be able to get through our defenses, and we can win that way. So they're just gonna attach an energy to their Chien Pao EX and end their turn. Got an AMBIPOM from our top deck, but I could use Artisan to set up a Cherubi, but with no energies in sights. I think, I don't know, man. They might go for AMBIPOM because MIMIKYU EX can negate attacks from Chien Pao EX, but not Baxcalibur. So if they have energies and if they evolve into Baxcalibur, they can just keep attacking. Alright, so we got a Bibarel from our Iono, which is pretty nice. We're just gonna use up our cards here. No more basic on our prizes, but nothing too major that's prized, so that's pretty good. Although that path to the peak could have helped in this matchup. Maybe we'll get it once we start knocking out their Pokemon here. And let's see. Draw one extra card with Bibarel here. Bravery Charm. Okay, I'm gonna put that to Scovit, and then I'll use Nest Dash. Why not? Because I can draw extra cards with Bibarel anyways on my next turn. Dude, we finally got an energy, which is really nice. So I'll just attach it to my bench Tarantula, and we just need one more. We can use Entangling Trap with our Spidops once we evolve it. So, yeah, MIMIKYU EX again is only useful with EX types Pokemon and then also V Pokemon. But with AMBIPOM, it is dependent on RNG or dependent on your coin flip. But if you get heads, any attack damage that is to be done to AMBIPOM will be negated. So that's what's great about AMBIPOM. So my opponent also has Palkia V. So that has an ability, once they evolve into a V-Star, okay, they have an ability that can accelerate energies from the discard pile to their Pokemon, which is pretty strong, and it could present a problem later on. So maybe shuffling back those energies might prevent them from using that ability. But we'll see how this goes though. So our next goal will be to evolve into Spidops and then evolve into an AMBIPOM on our next turn, get energies, and start targeting their Baxcalibur if possible. Okay, they also evolve into a Bibarel. Now they have a powerful draw support. They evolve into a Baxcalibur. Alright. So now with a lot of energies that is accessible to them, especially with Shivery Chill from Chien Pao, they can get 2 energies from their deck and put it into their hand, and then they can accelerate those energies to their Pokemon in any way they like. So pretty strong start for my opponent going on their second turn. They can also get a knockout here by discarding 1 energy from their Chien Pao. They could just deal 60 damage to our Tarantula in the active and knock it out. So let's see what they still have a few moves to do. Right, so they're using Artisan to set up 1 more basic Pokemon from their deck onto their bench. Another Bidoof, okay. Okay, so they're gonna attack with Hailblade, and all they need to do is discard 1 water energy to get a knockout here, and that will get them their first prize. So because we are behind in prizes, if we have access to reversal energy, we can actually use that, and that counts as 3 of any color. Can power up Spidops or any of our Pokemon easily. Got capturing Aroma. Maybe we can get heads here. No, we got tails, so we can get another basic Pokemon from our deck. They might go for Cherubi this time. So now we have an Energy Accelerator. And then let's use Industrious Incisors to draw 5. We got our Spidops and an Energy, which is pretty awesome. Now we can shuffle their Pokemon back to the deck. I could use my boss's order and just shuffle back their Baxcalibur. Go ahead and use Nest Dash here. Avery, bro, that's gonna be very effective in our next turn. So I'm just gonna use Entangling Trap, put their Baxcalibur back to the deck, and we're gonna put Mimikyu in the active spot because their main attackers are just their Palkia and their Chien Pao EX, and both of those attackers will have no effect or will have no damage on Mimikyu because of its Safeguard ability. So that's basically the strategy of this deck. It's pretty annoying, and what you mean to do is to really just prevent them from setting up or from ever damaging your Pokemon. So it requires a lot of patience to to use this deck, but you can have total control of your opponent's setup. And while we use a lot of supporter cards, we have the infinite supporter loop capabilities in this deck. So we're just gonna use Celine, Team Yell's Cheer, and Palpad. But there will come a point at some point where your Team Yell's Cheer and Palpad are in the discard pile and you use Celine and then you don't get any heads. That could prevent you from ever recovering your supporter cards. So just keep that in mind. If anything, use Team Yell's Cheer last with that infinite support cycle. That way you'll always have access to Celine before using your Team Yell's Cheer or your Palpad. I hope that makes sense. But anyways, my opponent's Palkia V-Star is now all ready to go with 8 Pokemon on both players' bench. It can deal some serious damage here. However, it's not gonna affect our Mimikyu. There it is. Thanks to its Safeguard ability. Very, very good. Alright, so what we could do is we could use Avery, force my opponent to discard one of the Pokemon on their bench. And that's gonna further limit them from setting up anything at this point. We got a Spidops, but we don't have a Tarantula to evolve into. I could use Clara, but we already used Avery. Just put an energy to Mimikyu. We can attack with Mimikyu. We just need Luminous Energy to attack with it. And we got another Spidops. We use Industrious Incisors for 4. Okay, we got a Capturing Aroma. Let's go ahead and use that. Alright, cool. We got Tails. So let's go ahead and grab ourselves a Tarantula. And then we can... well, we can't energize until next turn. So I'm just gonna end my turn here. If my opponent doesn't have a boss orders, we should be safe. And without Baxcalibur, they can't accelerate energies to their Baxcalibur. They'll need to evolve to be able to attack this turn as well. So Mimikyu is actually really good. If you can just get your Luminous Energy, while it can negate attacks, you can keep putting damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon. I've actually won a match just single-handedly with Mimikyu. Although my opponent was using their single prize Pokemon with no... Yeah, single prize Pokemon that are not EX and B to attack. It's Mimikyu is actually pretty versatile too. Or pretty tough to beat. And... Bravery Charm, also, you can use that on Mimikyu to add extra HP, making it 120 damage. So if your opponent doesn't have any other attackers that can damage it, they'll usually desperately use their other Pokemon that can only hit for a few damage here and there. But with so much HP, thanks to the Bravery Charm, Mimikyu can be very hard to beat. But let's see what my opponent does here. So I'm pretty sure they have Baxcalibur to evolve again. They have Rare Candy. Alright, there it is. And all we have to do is target that again, shuffle it back to their deck, and then go from there. Energy retrieval, okay. Yeah, so now they're gonna try and use Baxcalibur to attack. If they have enough energies available, they can knock out my Mimikyu. And that's why AMBIPOM is really great in this build. Because, like I said, while it depends on a coin flip, successful coin flip, it has the potential to negate a lot of attack damage. Alright, so the energy retreats, and because of the Skater Spark, the energies goes back to their hand, and now they can fully energize their Baxcalibur, and they can knock out my Mimikyu. But thankfully, we have Spidops and Reversal Energy, and then we can shuffle Spidops along with their Baxcalibur into their deck. And if they attack with their Chien Pao EX, they're not going to be able to recover those energies. But I am worried a little bit of their Palkia V-Star, because now it can attack next turn. But let's see what we could do here. So of course we're gonna put our Tarantula in the active spot. We got our Cherim, which is really nice. That's gonna help us to accelerate energies to maybe our AMBIPOM. Let's evolve this, and then we can use Spring Bloom to start energizing our APOM. Use Arezu, get an AMBIPOM, and that's pretty much it. Evolve this. Then we can use Industrious Incisors to draw 5. Alright, 2 more energies, which is pretty nice. Go ahead. I'm gonna accelerate these energies to AMBIPOM now, because if they target my Cherim, that could pose a problem. And I'm just gonna use Entangling Trap and shuffle their Baxcalibur along with my Spidops back to the deck. And I'm gonna put AMBIPOM in the active spot. So hopefully my Primate Dexterity ability will work here, and my opponent doesn't get a knockout. And hopefully we can survive an attack. It's all up to you, AMBIPOM. It's all up to you, my friend. And then we can use Iono and reset up my Spidops. And ideally, if you can set up 2 Spidops, that's awesome, because every turn, if you could just continue to shuffle their Pokemon back to the deck, they might just not be able to set up anything at all. So our next target will be this Palkia, but they have 2 chances. Well, it's a 50% chance if they knock out my AMBIPOM here. We don't have any other Pokemon that can negate attack on our next turn, unless we recover our Mimikyu back to our hand or to our deck. Unless we can do that, we're not going to be immune to damage. Dude, we survived an attack, dude. There it is. AMBIPOM and its Primate Dexterity wins this round. Very good.
Nice. So I'm just gonna Iono here, see if I can set up other Pokemon. 2 Tarantula, which is really nice. Manaphy is actually, if they have a Greninja in their deck, that's gonna be very dangerous. But since we are behind on prizes, Reversal Energy is actually pretty useful here. That could add to the damage we deal against their Palkia V-Star. For the meantime, I'm just gonna set up 2 Taruntulas, use Nestash, Team Yell's Cheer, okay? Then let's see if we can draw into something useful. Another Reversal Energy. We can only attach 1 energy from our hand as our energy attachments. So, let's see if I could use Palpad to recover these 2, Avery and a boss. And then I'm gonna increase my chances. Maybe I can get a knockout against this Palkia, right? And then we have a potential for 480 damage. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 3. Is that enough? That's not enough. 180 damage to their Palkia V-Star. All right. I mean, it's something. Hopefully, we didn't waste all that energy on this Ambipom. But if we can negate another attack, that would be awesome. You know what I mean? So let's see. So on my next turn, I'm definitely going to use Nest Stash and Bibarel. Maybe we can draw into our Spidops. And I've been struggling actually since building or testing out this deck. I found that having 3 Tarantula and 3 Spidops is essential for you to draw into them, because when you shuffle it back to the deck, it's not always a guarantee that you'll draw into them right away. So if you have 3 of them, you have that increased chance or probability of drawing into Spidops and the energies you shuffled back to the deck. That's why having 3 of them each is, I think, essential. But I am still experimenting a little bit. Okay, come on, negate it. Yeah! Ambipom, you are the best. Look at that. 2 attempts with my opponent's Palkia V-Star, but to no avail. I could take a chance here and have them shuffle their Palkia, but it's a missed opportunity if we just shuffle it back to the deck, right? Let me use a Nestash here. Got an Avery. Can have them discard 1. They're probably just gonna get rid of the minion V. We got a Spidops though, which is pretty nice. We can evolve at least 1 of our Tarantula, and then we can be barrel for more cards after that. So let's go ahead and evolve this. Draw 3 cards. Alright, we got a Luminous Energy. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna shuffle back this Palkia. I mean, it's a guarantee. I could just hammer in, knock out this guy. See if I can set up this next Tarantula. So we have 2 options. I could knock out their Palkia V-Star. It is within knockout range. I could just knock it out, right? Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do that. Get rid of this Palkia, because having 2 energies as an attacker with no drawback is actually really bad. So I think knocking it out is a good option. Chien Pao EX, when it attacks, it has to discard energies. Without Excalibur as a support to accelerate energies, it could just die out without being able to attack in the long run. So I think knocking out that Palkia V was the best option. Alright, so my opponent manages to evolve again into a Excalibur, which is perfectly fine. I have Luminous Energy, which we could use to shuffle back to the deck as well. We just have to draw into another Spidops and then just shuffle that Excalibur into their deck. Either using energy retrieval, getting them 2 extra cards from their discard pile. But they're discarding 2 of their cards to use an Ultra Ball. And they have another Palkia, bro, okay. And they haven't used their V-Star power attack yet. And that's really... their V-Star power ability, I mean. And that could be very dangerous. So, with Baxcalibur, they're accelerating another energy, most likely to their Palkia. No, to their Baxcalibur, alright. Alright, so with that... Oh, they also have draw power there. So they're not done yet. But at least with this Chien Pao, even if they attack, they will have to discard their energies. They have to discard at least 2. Another Chien Pao EX. That's okay. But what we need to do is shuffle back that Baxcalibur into their deck. And again, without any energies in the discard pile, their Palkia is pretty much useless. But yeah, they have a lot of energies available to them though. With that said though, having AMBIPOM available is really, really good. Now we have an attacker that I know it's scaring my opponent. They're gonna use boss orders. Where are they gonna target? What are they gonna target? AMBIPOM? I don't know if that's a good idea. Oh, come on, AMBIPOM, give me heads. Negate their attack, please. But with that said, that actually opens the way for us to use our Spidops again. And without any casualties, if we get heads here with a Primate Dexterity ability, we'll just boss their Baxcalibur, shuffle it back to the deck, and it will keep my opponent from accelerating energies. If we can recover this boss orders, we can do the same to their Palkia V-Star. So they're gonna attempt to attack here. Come on, AMBIPOM. They need to discard at least 2 energies here. Okay, come on, AMBIPOM. Yes! Yes! AMBIPOM, you are the best, man. Alright. That's awesome, man. Alright, cool. AMBIPOM does it again, and I'm gonna sacrifice 1 energy. I know it's dwindling down its attack damage output, but we're gonna use Path to the Peak. That's gonna make a big difference. We're gonna boss's order this Baxcalibur, and I'm gonna go ahead and Spring Bloom 1 energy to Tarantula. Nest Dash everything else here. Maybe we can get another. Dude, we got a boss's orders. That's pretty dangerous, man. Alright. Capturing Aroma. Maybe we can get a Spidops. Dude, we got heads. That's awesome. So let's get our Spidops. So now we have 2 lined up. And then we can use... Oh no! No, I forgot! Oh, this is really bad. Oh man. Alright, that was a bad oversight. So Reversal Energy access 3 energies of any kind only if you're behind on prizes, and that just threw me off because we were able to use it last turn, but now here we can't because it counts as 1 colorless energy, because me and my opponent have an even amount of prize cards, and we couldn't even retreat it because we don't have any energy available to us on our bench. So that's actually really, really bad. So now my opponent will get a free knockout here if they can get their Baxcalibur out of the active spot. and into one of their attackers. But at least in our next turn, we can use boss orders and target one of their Pokemon again, and then go from there. They will lose 2 energies though by retreating their Baxcalibur. But I'm not sure if they're gonna just go for an attack here. We'll see. It's either they retreat, attack with Palkia V-Star, or they can use Switch. Okay, they're gonna go for Chien Pao EX to attack. I don't know if that's a good idea, because now if they attack, they'll have to discard 2 energies. We can use Spidops to shuffle back their Baxcalibur, and then all we have to do is deal with the Palkia, and they're gonna be disabled basically if they have no more energies to energize their Pokemon. So we'll see. Alright, so they're gonna attack for 2. They discard 1 from Baxcalibur and Chien Pao EX. And let's see if what I do here. I could also use AMBIPOM to just knock out their Baxcalibur. So that's an option. But since this is a Spidops showcase, I think I'm gonna go for just shuffling back their Baxcalibur. We have Clara. I can also use that to recover MIMIKYU EX and then go from there. Use Nestash. I'm gonna preserve my energy for now because I don't want to put too much on AMBIPOM and then I lose it. So I think I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, let's just go ahead and use Entangling Trap here to shuffle back their Baxcalibur into the deck. And let's see, I don't want to risk my AMBIPOM just yet. So I'm gonna go with Cherim, because Cherim, that's why I used to have 2-2 line of Cherim, but I've noticed that I don't really need Cherim in the long run. Having a 1-1 line is sufficient, in my opinion, because like I said, you only need 2 grass energies for Spidops, and we have a lot of Pokemon here that can negate attack, so potentially you'll have enough turns to set up your Pokemon if you really want to. But now my opponent's targeting AMBIPOM. Here we go again, guys. We're gonna see if we can survive an attack here. Hopefully hopefully AMBIPOM can pull through. Come on, AMBIPOM. Oh no! Okay. So my opponent finally pulled through. AMBIPOM was able to help us to stall a little bit there in the very beginning. Maybe we can set up another one, but we'll see. We shall see. Alright, so we got 2 basic energies. I can put one to Squobit because Skater Spark is still available. We can definitely use that to retreat our Squobit and preserve our energies in play. So I'll get this Tarantula from our deck and then start energizing it. I'm gonna use Squobit to shuffle and draw 1. Team Yell's Cheer. Industrious Incisors for 4. Okay. Okay, let me use Team Yell's Cheer for now. I can use it to recover Pokemon as well. Avery and Boss's Orders. I could go for 2 Boss Orders, but I feel like Avery is pretty useful. Might as well put that. We are in the end game, so it's not going to be as useful. And you know what? I'll just actually sacrifice Bidoof. If they don't have any other boss orders, we might be able to yeah, we're just trying to disable my opponent at this point because we still need 4 prizes left. They have a pretty solid attacker with Palkia V-Star and also Chien Pao EX. So they need 2 more prizes to go here. They can knock out my Bidoof. But once I shuffle back my Tarantula, if I can get MIMIKYU, I can just negate an attack from their Chien Pao EX, and they're not going to be able to damage us at all. And they're running out of time. They're running out of time too. So let's see if we can still win this matchup here. Avery. What I need is a MIMIKYU. Go ahead and use Avery. Okay. It's not what we need though. Nestash. I need a MIMIKYU. Please give me MIMIKYU. Basic energy. I'm gonna shuffle back Spidops anyway, so I'm just gonna put it on Tarantula. Hopefully, come on. MIMIKYU. Where's the MIMIKYU? Okay, we got a level ball. There it is. Let's get our MIMIKYU. We got a level ball. And we also have Beach Court, so now we can retreat our MIMIKYU freely. And this end game setup is actually going to be really awesome. So we're just going to use Entangling Trap to get their Palkia V-Star back to their deck. And then put our MIMIKYU in the active spot. They cannot damage it. They cannot damage it. And then we can use Clara to even recover our Pokemon. So they've used 2 Boss's Orders already. I'm not sure how much they have in their deck. But without Boss Orders, they're just going to lose this game. Because they can't get through MIMIKYU's defenses. And they're just going to waste their energies attacking if they cannot energize their Chien Pao EX without Baxcalibur. So, yeah. So that's the name of the game, guys. Disruption plus damage. And it forces your opponent to use up all of their resources in the long run. And when they do that, if they run out and they have no way to get around our defenses, it will mean endgame for them. So, will my opponents pull through here? We'll find out. They're going to put their Bibarel in the active spot. It will take 2 energies to get it out of the active spot unless they have another switch. And that's going to be it. If they can't damage my MIMIKYU, that's going to be it. And we can use Celine to recover our cards back to the deck. We can use our infinite supporter loop capabilities if we need to, so that we will not deck out. But both of us still have a lot of cards left in their deck, so I don't know. We'll see. Is my is my opponent tired of this match? They just can't win? Oh, they're just gonna end their turn, bro. Okay. Well, we're just gonna continue without let up, I guess. I could use Celine to recover some cards here. Okay, we got 1 heads, which is pretty nice. And we're gonna go for our Palpad. That way we can recover our Team Yell's Cheer, then recover Celine back, and that loop is gonna continue. So we're gonna use Nestash, Palpad. Can use Palpad to recover Team Yell's Cheer. Get out of here, Arezu. Team Yell's Cheer and Celine. And Industrious Incisors. If we can get Luminous Energy and the Grass Energy, we can attack with MIMIKYU. Might as well put this Bravery Charm to add extra HP, and we're just gonna end our turn. So with limited time on my opponent's side, they might not be able to set up fast enough to get their last knockout here. Although all they need is a Boss Orders, retreat their Bibarel, and an energy to attack with Chien Pao EX to get a win. So you'll notice here though our draw is pretty horrible when it comes to getting our Spidops line back into play. And that's why having 3-3 line of Spidops is, I think, essential to making this strategy work. So it's all up to my opponent. I don't know if they're gonna continue this game, or they have no other way to get around Mimikyu. Alright, there's a scoop. I will take it. Dude, that took a long time, but there you have it, guys. Spidops. Good game. Alright, we win the coin flip. We are going first. We're going to start with a Squovit in the active spot. We have 2 level balls to get 2 more basic Pokemon from our deck. Looks like my opponent's using Magnezone EX. Alright. So I already see a potential here, because if we can use Spidops Entangling Trap to keep shuffling back their stage 2 Magnezone EX back to the deck, and they cannot reset it up if they've used up all of their resources, especially if they're reliant on rare candy, they might just not be able to set up their Magnezone EX at all. So that's going to be our main strategy, but I don't know what other cards my opponent has in their deck, so we'll see. For now, we're going to set up our draw engine here. So we got the barrel in our hands, so Bidoof, of course, will be our first one. And KLEFKI, I think, will help us to stall at least one more turn here once we put this in the active spot. And then Squovit back to our bench, because that's going to help us to limit our hand size to 1, and then we can draw extra cards with the barrel. So let's see how well my opponent sets up here. But yeah, Magnezone EX is pretty strong. I don't think it's gonna matter in this matchup, especially we're shuffling back our Spidops into the deck, so we might not even have enough energies in play for them to have an increased damage output. Although if I do use AMBIPOM, I will have a lot of energies to attack. So alright, KLEFKI did its job. It's limiting my opponent from drawing extra cards. We can evolve into Bibarel and can't use Nest Dash. Oh, that's right. Okay. Alright, I haven't played with KLEFKI, so I'm fairly new to this. So it does lock out the abilities of both players, so we can't use Squovit's Nest Dash ability. So I'm just gonna thin out my hand as much as I can. Draw 1 card with Bibarel. Tarantula, okay, that's pretty good. And then I could attack with KLEFKI. I could boss their Mareep. Just gonna joust for 10. I mean, that 10 damage could go a long way, but we'll see. We shall see. They evolve into a Flaffy, but now their retreat cost is increased to 2. It's gonna be a lot harder for them to take that Flaffy out of the active spot. But they are gonna boss my Squovit. Without any attackers though, I feel a bit safe. I don't think we are gonna lose Squovit just yet. And with that energy on Squovit, we could easily retreat it and keep it safe on our bench. Yeah, KLEFKI is pretty good though, especially against Lost Box and any other like Lunatone Soul Rock combo. And yeah, with this, if we had KLEFKI in the active, we could prevent that Miraidon EX from using its ability as well. But that's alright. With 1 energy to their Miraidon, they get, with the ability, they get another Miraidon and another Mareep on their bench. And a Magnezone, or a Magnemite. Alright, so they're gonna end their turn. And a Spidops, look at that. Okay, Spidops, very nice. With Squovit in the active, we can use his Nest Dash, because KLEFKI is not turning off any abilities now. Draw 4 with Industrious Incisors. Okay, this is really bad, because we don't have any energies available to us to use Spidops. You just retreat to KLEFKI, I guess. And then I'm just gonna joust for 10. With the Beach Court in play, we can easily retreat our KLEFKI anyways. But other than that, I don't know if they have anything else here. They're gonna use Jock to get 2 evolution Pokemon. One for their Mareep maybe, and one for their Magnezone line. So if they have a rare candy, they can evolve into a Magnezone EX. But again, with limited amount of cards in their hand, I don't think they have any switch to get this Flaffy out of the active spot. So okay, they're just gonna end their turn. There it is. Okay. Let me retreat into Squovit. Nestash. We're just gonna continue to get this conveyor going here. We got a level ball, which is awesome. And I'm gonna go for an AMBIPOM here. Draw 5 cards with the Industrious Incisors. Heavy ball. Dude, we got MIMIKYU. Alright, I think MIMIKYU is gonna go a long way here because their main attackers are mainly EX Pokemon. Even if they evolve into Magnezone, they're not gonna be able to touch our MIMIKYU at all. And with Avery, that's going to force our opponent to discard at least 2 of their Pokemon here, and I'm gonna start to energize my MIMIKYU and put this Bravery Charm to add 50 HP to MIMIKYU. I'm just getting my turn. So with the limited amount of cards in their hand, hopefully they can't get their Flaffy out of the active spot. They need 1 more energy to their Miraidon to attack. And they're gonna keep setting up. That's why Avery is so good with the strategy of this build. Again, the main purpose is to really prevent my opponent from setting up or disrupt their setup. So forcing them to discard the two Pokemon from their bench, leaving them only with 3 is actually great. And then you pair that with Spidops. That is insane disruption. You can limit your opponent's Pokemon in play tremendously. But they will find their switch, however, and they will be able to attack with Miraidon EX for 220 damage, knocking out my Squovit. Well, we can recover that with Clara though, so we should be okay. And I'm just gonna put MIMIKYU in the active spot. If we can get our Luminous Energy, that would be awesome. Could put it on Spidops. Use Clara to get Squovit and this energy back to my hand. Now I can use Squovit to put this to the bottom of the deck and then draw 1 card. Alright, cool. We can even evolve into AMBIPOM. Draw 5 extra cards with Bibarel. Alright. Okay. I think we're looking good here. And their Miraidon EX cannot attack. But what I could do is just shuffle their Miraidon EX back to the deck. So with no energies available to them, we should be safe. And they cannot damage my MIMIKYU anyways. They could attack with Magnemite, or if they evolve into... what's that? Magneton? But no, they evolve into a Magnezone. Yeah, that's not gonna knock out my MIMIKYU. So we are safe here. Unless they have a boss's orders. They can knock out either Squovit, KLEFKI, or my Bibarel, but that's it. AMBIPOM is a potential because we have to flip a successful coin flip for us to negate an attack. So let's see what my opponent does here. This could be an automatic win for us if they can't attack with their other Pokemon. Electric generator, alright. They get nothing from that. And they're just gonna end their turn, okay. Boss's orders, look at that. Shall we go for an Avery? Or boss's order? I'm gonna go for boss. Yeah, let's get these Flaffies out of order. If I can get Luminous Energy, I could knock it out. Come on, Luminous Energy. I only have one of in the deck though. That's the only thing. Path to the Peak. Path to the Peak. Alright, I'm just setting up for my Spidops here, but we couldn't find our Luminous Energy, so we're just gonna end our turn. I don't want to get rid of Beach Court just yet, because that's gonna help us to continually be able to get Mimikyu out of the active spot. And each time we pivot out, use our Spidops, we can just continue to get Mimikyu in the active and back while we continue to set up our Spidops line. So unless my opponent changes gears here to accelerate energy to their Flaffy, which that's what they're doing, they can attack, but it's not going to be enough to knock out my Mimikyu, because with that Bravery Charm helping to increase its HP, it's not going to be dealing enough damage to knock it out in a single hit. And they still have to get their Flaffy out of the active spot. So, alright. Team Yell's Cheer. I could use Ultra Ball here to get rid of Manaphy, because Manaphy, I don't think they have any Pokemon that hits for bench damage, so we should be safe. Get me my Spidops. And yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna get my boss orders and Clara for recovery. Use Nest Dash. Another Torrential. Okay. Then Industrious Incisors. Luminous Energy. No. Got a Reversal Energy. I could shuffle back their Flaffy back into the deck. I'm just gonna use it on MIMIKYU. I think we need to get this game going. We can get a knockout here against their Flaffy, so we need 2 heads at least to get a knockout here. 3 tails? Come on. Come on, man. Alright, so that's RNG for you. Even with 3 energies, it still got us 0 damage against their Flaffy. So, alright. Their Flaffy survives another day. But yeah, once we get rid of this Flaffy, get rid of the other Flaffy, we can just negate any of their attack with Mimikyu until they run out of boss orders. And that could be an instant win for us. It's basically what it is. Especially their EX and or V Pokemon that they might have. It's not gonna deal any damage to our Mimikyu at all. So they're gonna take it slow here. Use Nest Dash. Iono, okay. Iono is actually pretty good. Let me use Industrious Incisors though, because I can't draw any more cards if I use Iono now. Alright, we got 1 basic energy. I could put it on Spidops, and then could just use Iono. That's also going to disrupt my opponent's hand anyways. Got another boss orders. Where is that Luminous Energy, man? And then we're going to attempt to knock out this Flaffy. So we need 2 heads here. Okay, we got 1. Not quite enough to knock out their Flaffy, though. So we can use boss orders, get a knockout on the next turn. But yeah, this is a pretty slow process. Like I said, this build requires a lot of patience, because that's basically the name of the game. It's just disrupt their setup and then negate attacks with Mimikyu and or AMBIPOM. So you see how hard it is for my opponent to get a knockout. That's basically what it is. With AMBIPOM and Mimikyu, they're not getting through our defenses. Alright, Pulse Launcher. Come on, AMBIPOM. Yes! There it is! That's why AMBIPOM is so perfect for this deck. With good RNG, it can negate attacks. Look at that. Let me use Mustache. I think I'm gonna go for just getting this Magnezone out of play. But I don't want to waste my reversal energy either. So, alright, we got it. Grass energy we can spare to retreat with. And then we can use Entangling Trap to get this Magnezone out of play. Then, we're gonna put MIMIKYU in the active spot. Or AMBIPOM is actually good. But MIMIKYU is the surest option here. Because they can attack with Fluffy, but it's only gonna deal 50 damage. It's not gonna be enough to knock out our MIMIKYU within a single attack. So we are looking good. Once we get that luminous energy though, that should eliminate their Fluffy in the long run. So thanks to the Bravery Charm, our HP is pretty high. So we're looking good. I'm gonna set up another Spidops line here. Retreat for free on AMBIPOM. Maybe we can knock out this Fluffy. Mustache. Bell VIP pass. Okay. Industrious Incisors. Another Spidops. Iono. Okay. But I'm gonna go for an attempt to knock out their Fluffy in the active spot. Alright, we got one heads. It's one attack. We just need one more head in the next turn to knock out their Fluffy. And then go from there. So it definitely requires a lot of patience to use the strategy of this build. It's a fairly simple deck, but with these simple Pokemon in your deck, it's sometimes very difficult to get through. You know what I mean? So like with AMBIPOM, it can negate attack, potentially. MIMIKYU, totally negate attacks against EX and V Pokemon, which is pretty insane. But yeah, Battle VIP Pass I think is really good, but it's just RNG based as well. Dude, AMBIPOM is such an awesome guy. There you go. They're not getting through our AMBIPOM's defenses, dude. Awesome. So let's evolve into another Spidops here. Use our Iono. And then I can put this energy... Put an energy on Spidops. I'm just gonna retreat. Retreat with my AMBIPOM, sacrificing my reversal energy, Nest Dash, draw 4, and then Entangling Trap. Alright, very good. Alright, MIMIKYU back into the active spot. Okay. Okay, so yeah, again, patience it can be very frustrating for my opponent to get through everything here. And they're gonna continue to attack our MIMIKYU. With no energies on their other MIMIKYU, I think we are safe. We just need to get our luminous energy. Put an energy on AMBIPOM. We just need one heads to knock out their Fluffy here. Where is that luminous energy? I think it's prized, to be honest with you. Got another APOM. Dude, I think it's prized. retreat for free thanks to the beach court. And come on, heads. We just need to knock out this Flaffy. Alright, cool. Very nice. There it is. Goodbye, Flaffy. We got one. Our first prize. We got a Cherubi. Okay. I used to have 2-2 line of Cherubi, like I said, but I didn't find it as necessary. Like what you're seeing here, it's actually, even if you just attach for turn for those energies, you should typically be fine. Still be able to attack. And then I actually had Capturing Aroma originally in this build, but I found that it was very inconsistent because you're relying on RNG for what you need. If you need an evolution and then you get Tails with the Capturing Aroma, it's not gonna do you any good. So I just went with my Ultra Balls. But my opponent will get a successful hit against our AMBIPOM here, getting another prize. And now MIMIKYU will go into the active spot. It's still gonna be able to negate some attacks. So since we have some space, I think I'm gonna go for Tarantula and Cherubi this time. Put an energy on this guy, and then we're gonna nest dash. So with no other attackers for them to get through our MIMIKYU, we should be safe for the meantime, unless my opponent has a lot of boss's orders. I could use also Avery to have them discard their Pokemon. Let's use Super Rod here, get 2 of these energies and an AMBIPOM. Okay, so I'm gonna make an attempt to get a few heads here. Alright, cool, we got 2 heads with Celine. So what we're gonna do is recover, most definitely Team Yell's Cheer, and then Versal Energy is good. It's gonna add extra firepower to our AMBIPOM in the long run. And I'm just gonna end my turn here with my opponent not being able to deal any damage to our MIMIKYU unless they have a boss orders to target any of our other benched Pokemon. Yeah, MIMIKYU, if you have Luminous Energy, you can continue to attack while your opponent is unable to deal any damage to MIMIKYU. So I think the combination between MIMIKYU, AMBIPOM, and Spidops is actually really good. But there it is. My opponent uses the boss's orders to get our Squovit, and they're dealing 150 damage. We have 3 energies in play, so that is that for Squovit. But now we can put our Tarantula in the active spot. We have Spidops. We just need 1 more energy, and then we'll be able to shuffle back this Magnezone to the deck, to my opponent's deck here. Alright, we got Reversal Energy, and actually that's all we need, if anything. Then Avery also forces my opponent to discard 1 of their benched Pokemon, and Reversal Energy again will allow us to use Entangling Trap, but for now I'm going to use Ultra Ball to get Cherum, which could help us accelerate extra energies if we need to. Okay, Path to the Peak. Then we're going to try and set up another Tarantula line. This time I'm going to use Path to the Peak to prevent them from using their abilities. And we're going to Entangling Trap their Magnezone EX back to the deck, and MIMIKYU to negate attacks from their Miraidon EX. So we're looking good. We have 1 basic energy, Spidops. So if they put their Miraidon, we can shuffle that back to the deck as well. And they're going to have a hard time setting up any other basic Pokemon here because they cannot use Miraidon EX's ability thanks to Path to the Peak. And if we can get an an Iono. I think we have one more in the deck. We could shuffle their hand and limit it to 3 cards left. Hopefully they can't draw into extra cards. Then we'll finish off whatever's left over in their board. So yeah, it takes a while for the whole strategy of this deck to work. And one thing that can basically go through a lot of defenses are Pokemon that can go through defenses. So Giratina V actually has one that doesn't care about effects on your opponent's Pokemon, so they can just knock out Mimikyu. Duraludon VMAX is also one of them, and other Pokemon that can easily get through those defenses. It just ignores any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. But other than that, this is actually pretty solid. Alright, so my opponent passes. They can't knock out my Mimikyu, so we are looking good. We have enough energies here to put onto our Spidops, and then we can even shuffle back this Miraidon EX back to their deck. But first, we're going to use Team Yell's Cheer to recover some of our Pokemon. Squovit, Celine, and Iono is what I'm thinking. But Avery sounds good though, because if they end up recovering their Magnemites, we can use Avery to disrupt their benched setup. I wonder if I should. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for Spidops for now, and might as well just use AMBIPOM. I mean, it's getting us nowhere if we just continue to shuffle endlessly here, so I'm just gonna do that against their Miraidon EX. At least they don't have any major attackers for the meantime. But this time I'm just going to put KLEFKI in the active, because with their Flaffy, with just 1 energy left for them to accelerate onto it, they can deal a knockout blow against our Mimikyu, and then we'll have to recover it again with Clara. So that's the plan. We have an energy to KLEFKI, so we can just retreat it. And yeah, we just have an endless supply of supporter cards, so Clara can just keep recovering our Pokemon and energies. As long as we can continue to get our Celines, Team Yell's Cheer, and also Palpad, we have an unlimited amount of supporter cards in this deck. But out of desperation, they are just trying to set up their Flaffies to attack, to be able to attack. But since we only need 10 more damage to this Flaffy, we can actually use KLEFKI to knock out their active Flaffy. Okay, they're dealing 50 damage, not enough to knock out our KLEFKI, which is pretty nice. And Celine, alright. So I can use Clara, or Celine, or even bounce orders. Okay, we only have 1 energy, but that's fine. I think I'm gonna go for... yeah, I'll just get Spidops. Why not? So we have an evolution for AMBIPOM, and then I could accelerate an energy to... could start accelerating AMBIPOM, but Mimikyu is good too. But for now, AMBIPOM is good. I'm gonna retreat, and then just gonna knock out this guy. Hope for a heads. Alright, cool. Another Flaffy down, thanks to an AMBIPOM, getting us another prize. Dude, there's the luminous energy. I knew this prize. Alright, so now we can actually attack with Mimikyu. Can deal 70 damage counters. Put 7 damage counters to my opponent's active Pokemon. And we can continue to do that to deal a knockout. But we do have to take care of this Flaffy first, Question is if they have an energy left from their hand to deal any serious damage here. Alright, they're gonna evolve into another Magnezone EX. I think this calls for another Spidops line, just in case we need to get ready to shuffle it back to the deck with Spidops Entangling Trap attack. Thanks to AMBIPOM though, we have the potential to block this Flaffy's attack. Come on, AMBIPOM. Yes! Alright, very good. We got heads, negates that attack. And that will end my opponent's turn. Very good. Tarantula to help us evolve into Spidops in the next turn. And I think I'm going to borrow this Luminous Energy for now. Boss's orders there. Mareep. Maybe we can get another knockout with AMBIPOM if we can get heads here. And then we can get rid of this Battle VIP pass using Ultra Ball to get Squovit. Alright, give me heads please. Get a knockout against this Mareep. Beautiful. Alright. Nice. Very nice. Okay. Very, very nice. Reversal energy. Okay. So, with just 2 energies, I don't even know if... Well, I think they can. I think they can use Magnezone EX to get a knockout here. Alright, so my opponent puts their Flaffy in the active spot, but again, AMBIPOM has the potential to negate any attacks from their Pokemon, so that's that. But my opponent and I have an even amount of prizes, so Reversal Energy is not gonna deal enough damage here, and I think they can use Magnezone EX to get a knockout against AMBIPOM because we have 2 energies at least in play. But at least we have Luminous Energy available now. If we use Spidops to shuffle it back to the deck, we can now put at least a Luminous Energy to MIMIKYU. Alright, dude, we got another heads with AMBIPOM. This is insane. And that's right. My opponent can't get through my defenses. Evolve our Spidops. Let's see. Just gonna put Reversal Energy to AMBIPOM. That's gonna get us 2 coin flips at least. That's a potential to knock out this Flaffy in the active. And then we got another energy, which is really nice. I could even shuffle back this Flaffy back to the deck, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that because it's getting really annoying. Get back to from whence you came, Flaffy. Alright, we got 1 heads with our Celine, so we're just gonna recover T-Meal's Cheer for sure. And then, yeah, Entangling Trap. Get out of here. Get out of here, Flaffy. And then KLEFKI to the active spot. So with Magnezone EX in the active spot, they can definitely deal a knockout blow here, but we're just gonna put our well, man, AMBIPOM can actually attack now that we are behind on prizes, so there you go. And with Path to the Peak in effect, they can't set up their Mareeps in their bench with Miraidon, so what we're gonna do is just use T-Meal's Cheer, get Celine, Boss Orders, and Iono. Because that's gonna help us disrupt my opponent's hand as well if they don't have any draw support. Okay, Tarantula, very nice. I need that. And then draw 5 cards. Alright, cool. Got our energies. Can put 1 on MIMIKYU and... yeah, I'll put it on AMBIPOM. And then I'm just gonna end my turn here. Alright, so Can use Avery to draw extra cards, get our Tarantula, hopefully more energies, and shuffle back this Magnezone EX once again, and go from there. So as I was saying, evolution search cards for this deck. I think having Ultra Ball and Battle VIP Pass is sufficient. Capturing Aroma was just not consistent enough, so I just went with those instead. Alright, so what I'm gonna do here is hope for a Luminous Energy. Dude! Squovitz! Why you feel like that, bro? That's awesome. That is pretty awesome. Alright, cool. So now I can just knock out this Magnemite with Mimikyu's Ghost Eye attack. 7 damage counters, knocking it out, getting us another prize. And with no other Pokemon for my opponent to use to get a damage against our Mimikyu, we are looking pretty good here. And then slowly but surely what we can do is use Beach Court and then use Spidops to continue to shuffle back their Pokemon into their deck. So Miraidon EX requires 3 energies to attack. They're not getting anywhere near that for another 2 turns. Okay. And we have Boss's Orders. Look at that. So what I'm gonna do is Boss's Orders. I could Boss's their Magnezone, but for now I could just put an energy to Spidops. Magnezone, retreat, because I want to keep this Path to the Peak in play. Shuffle back Team Yells and Boss's Orders. Get Clara. I need to recover my energies. And then use Quovit. Sweet. That's it. That seals the deal for this Magnezone. And then we're just going to Industrious Incisors for 5. Alright, very nice. So, Entangling Trap. Get this Magnezone out of here. And then put our Mimikyu back into our active spot. Again, without any way to attack, Mimikyu is going to be safe. They don't have any water energy in this deck, so Radiant Greninja is pretty much useless as far as attackers go. And with Path to the Peak sticking, they can't even draw with it. So yeah, but we need to start attacking here to finish off my opponent's Pokemon. So I could just keep attacking with Mimikyu. Nestash. Maybe I'll get a Boss Orders. Get rid of that Magnemite. Okay, didn't get it, but we did get a Tarantula, so that's pretty good. Alright, so I'm just gonna put damage counters to the Radiant Greninja. And then go from there. So there you have it, guys. So this is like a mixture of attack, high attack damage output with AMBIPOM, attack negation, and partly control, because you're preventing your opponent from setting up. So this has a lot of component or unique stuff that you can do in your artillery. Alright, so with that, I'm just going to use Industrious Incisors for the meantime. And then use Celine. Alright, we got 1 heads. So again, we're just using this to loop our abilities or our capabilities to never run out of cards. I'm going to start setting up my Spidops line, and then we can get a knockout against the Radiant Greninja. And that's gonna get us 1 more prize. And it's a basic energy. Alright, so we can possibly knock out their Magnemite if they cannot evolve it. and that should end this match. So we have a lot of potential to get prizes. We have really disruptive capabilities thanks to Tarantula, but they don't have any more rare candy. So yeah, that's that's gonna be it, man. Ghost Eye for the win, knocking out this Magnemite for our last prize. There it is. It took a while, but you get the idea, guys, right? With Spidops. Very good. Good game. Very good game.
And that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to smash the like button for me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching the Popsicleknight channel, and as always, stay safe and have a great day.